From the Jeffersonian grid of the Northwest expansion to the more haphazard delineations of our suburbs, the direction of development, expansion, and equity in the United States has been steered by manipulations to the conditions, rules, and physical layout of property. Today, our nation's system of suburban property delineation is arguably the most expansive spatial creation of the developed world. Its social, economic, and environmental impacts are vast, and as such, small alterations to the suburban landscape can lead to exponential social, economic, and environmental improvements. Stated most simply, our suburban housing market lacks the diversity of property sizes and housing types necessary to meet the needs of contemporary Americans. While the average size of the American household has declined, and 26.7% of those households consist of only one person, the average size of the American home has nearly tripled since the 1950s. When we combine these statistics with the ever-growing discrepancy between home prices and average wages, a long-term trend emerges that places the opportunities of home ownership further afield for an increasing percentage of our population. To help address this discrepancy, we developed SideYardr, a prototypical planning solution and architectural approach for partial lot sales within existing American suburbs. Its goal is to diversify the scale, costs, and spatial typologies of suburban homes to better align with the economic and familial needs of current and potential homeowners. SideYardr proposes a single manipulation to the typical suburban zoning code, allowing existing homeowners in designated strategic regions to sell a percentage of their property. This would turn existing properties into flexible assets for their current owners. A smaller scale of residential property would come into the market, leading to the development of smaller, more economic homes, opening the doors of home ownership to a larger percentage of our population, and harnessing the investment potentials of those citizens currently priced out of the market by providing a scale of property in which they can realistically invest. In many suburban contexts, there exists a repeated, unutilized no man's land, the side yard or the rear yard setback. Written into most zoning codes, these setbacks are used to control the spacing and density of the suburb, creating spaces whose only function seems to be as a place to operate a lawnmower. SideYardr sees tremendous economic and spatial benefits in the reclaiming of these leftover spaces. What if we could build within this no man's land? What if these leftover spaces are the key to a future urbanity within suburbia? Beyond this proposed zoning revision, SideYardr envisions new typologies of what we call combinative houses. It is estimated that during strong economic times, North Americans spend over $200 billion annually on home additions and renovations. What if these improvements, home offices, master suite additions, backyard pools, family rooms, garages, and granny flats, what if they could not only be paid for through the sale of a component of one's existing property? What if they were architecturally combined with the adjacent new infill housing? Imagine the dynamic, spatial, and social opportunities such a combinative approach would present to the suburb. In such a scenario, partial lot sales create both an economic and experiential rationale for homeowners to want smaller homes built alongside their existing properties, adding value to their existing homes, potentially reducing their debt loads, and increasing the spatial design opportunities for suburban homes. Though it is not a fix-all for suburbia, we believe SideYardr is a first step, describing a clear method for localities to double the density of strategic neighborhoods in their jurisdictions. The more comfortable homeowners become with greater densities, the easier it is for communities to broaden the diversity of housing types to create a more cohesive, more livable, more sustainable urban community.